Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, episode 505, Feeling My Age, and I just heard something thump over here, so I hope it's not a stupid mouse. I've been trying to get rid of them, and I keep saying I don't want them in the house, and they keep coming back, and I haven't seen them for a while, but it still doesn't mean they're not there, and it pisses me off that they're wandering around. So, can you hear me? Leave me the fuck alone. Anyway, it is 11:50 p.m. on June 17th, which is about 10 minutes away from Father's Day. It is also my birthday weekend, technically. My birthday is on Tuesday, June 20th. I'll be the big 50. So I'll be 50 years old on June 20th. Summer solstice hits on June 21st, as does Disney Plus's Secret Invasion, the first Marvel series of the year. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Pokemon Journeys on the 23rd, which is the final batch of episodes of Pokemon Journeys that my son and wife have been watching. So they finally be able to see that, how the whole Pokemon saga ends. And then Saturday is going to be my party. 19th is also Juneteenth. So got a lot of stuff rolling through here. No, my daughter Noelle starts work next Sunday. So we got all that going on. So a lot of stuff upcoming this week. My wife and daughter went to Hershey Park today, and my son has been having a bout of constipation right now. So hopefully he's getting through that all right. But my wife and daughter had an okay time, I think, at Hershey Park. It was a nice day. It's been nice weather, but we need rain very badly because we are in drought situation. So this week, we are going to be discussing a lot of Netflix stuff because Tudum surprised everybody and popped up this weekend. So there's a whole bunch of Netflix news. And also there's been a lot of not key deaths, but a lot of big deaths this week. Marvel also, or not Marvel, but Disney has also changed a bunch of dates again due to WGA stuff and other things as well. So we've got those dates for you as well. And we got some sports stuff, a lot of anniversary stuff. Gendy, Tartakosovas has got a lot of big stuff going on here. Pringles has got a bunch of stuff going on. There's some golf stuff, more WGA stuff, sequels, voiceovers, trailers, new production starts, all kinds of crazy stuff. So we're going to start right away. But first, the newest Coke Creations. Oh, this is the Zero Sugar one also. Oh, damn it. I didn't see that. This is the ultimate Coca-Cola. I didn't see that was zero sugar. It's going to taste disgusting then. I don't know. It's not a bad taste. It's kind of I almost want to say bubblegum taste. It's a zero sugar one, though. So maybe it's only available in zero sugar. That's the only thing, though, possibly is, because I think there was one other one that wasn't. This is League of Legends XP flavored Ultimate Coke limited edition. Yes, it's a very distinct bubblegum flavor to it. That's weird, isn't it? It's not bad. No, it's not bad at all. It's just, it's a kind of a weird bubblegum flavor to me. Anyway, that's what it is. It tastes like it. Now, zero sugar is fucking things up for my my taste buds. But, and also the fact that my refrigerator sucks at keeping stuff cool now. So it's not, and I've had it there for like 3 days, and that's not like ice cold. It's just sort of like coolish. But it tastes like bubblegum. That's like the only way I can describe this flavor. Yeah. Every time I hit it, it tastes like bubblegum. I'm going to tweet this real quick. So, hey, or not tweet this. I'm going to Facebook this. Let's go take a picture of it here first. I just tried this during live Dylan Knows going on now. Tastes like bubblegum. So I got that out of the way. So there we go. Why is it taking so slow? The server's right here. Why would it take so long to upload? Oh well. So sorry I had to do that. So yeah, that's weird taste. Tastes like bubble gum. But that's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. So feeling my age. Real quick, I will be 50 on Tuesday, and I've always said that you're only as old as you feel. And now my body over the last few years has felt like it's been not breaking down, but it's been more kind of breaking down, I guess is the proper word for it. It's been getting harder to do stuff, and I think I have a stomach issue, which I really need to get looked at. But healthcare is just so damn expensive because the government will not pass. Well, not the government. The Republicans will not pass. Fully covered healthcare for anybody. Anyway, but it really hit me this week at work. So I was working in my little area, and I was looking down to the shipping area, and I saw somebody milling around down there doing God knows what. I didn't recognize it, and I didn't recognize the person for a second. So I wonder who that is. And they were bald, and I was looking at them. It's like it looks a lot like this guy Mark that I know who works there. I've known him for 16 years, but I said to myself, but he's not bald. And then all of a sudden, I paused for a second and said, wait, yes, he is. I had forgotten he was bald, and he'd been bald for the whole 16 years I've known him. And it was him down there. But for a second, I didn't recognize him. I thought he was a stranger, and I forgot he was bald. So I was shaking my head. So I had one of the young college kids who was coming and working with us, working near me. She was packing up at a military order. And I said, I told her I just had a senior moment. And then I looked at her. I was like, you're going to be like 20 soon, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be 20. I forget when she said it was next year or something like that. No, or later this year or something like that. And I said, I've been here for 16 years. You were 4 years old when I started working here. And here she is now. She's 20. And then our new manager, who is the son of the owner of the co-owner of the company, I remember him when he was a kid helping out with inventory, and now he's manager. It's the weirdest thing. And I'm having these weird, I've been around for almost 50 years. As of Tuesday at 9 a.m., I've been around for 50 years. And it just seems rather odd because I don't feel it until recently. And honestly, when you think about 50, well, when you were a kid, it doesn't look like this. It looks like, a Betty White or something like that. I still get people. I still surprise people. I tell them how old I'm going to be. I think I'm still in my 40s or my, I think they're flattering me when they say you're late 30s, but I think I can see 40 a little bit, that I'm still in my 40s. I mean, technically I'm still 40 for the next 2 days, but I think they're talking like early 40s. And, again, you say you're only as old as you feel. So age is just a number. It really doesn't matter. So, I mean, there's 75-year-olds out there who are running marathons. So, again, you're only as old as you feel. So Tuesday is I'm gonna be 50 years old, 9 a.m. You'll be seeing it all over my Facebook page and Twitter probably. This next episode of Dylan Knows 506, I don't think I'll be doing it on Saturday since my 50th birthday party is at my in-laws' house on Saturday, and it's going to be pretty much most of the day. So I think I'm just going to maybe take a breather from that. My daughter starts her work on Sunday, so I think I might do it Sunday afternoon. I think when my wife is driving her up to her job site, I think I'll do my show. So it'll be like a 12 noon, 1 p.m. Sunday episode of Dylan Knows, I think. And I'll be able to talk to you about my party and my 50th birthday and Father's Day and all that junk. So that's what it looks like for that. Before I get to this, let's run through a few little other things here. We finally have the runtime for the Barbie movie. It is 1 hour, 54 minutes. So it's under 2 hours. So if you want to do a double feature with Oppenheimer, you might get lucky because Oppenheimer is close to 3 hours long, I believe. So I don't think it's necessarily 3 hours long, but it's close. But you might be able to do the double feature like you've been seeing kind of the memes about that. Oh, and by the way, it is now officially Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's officially 12 midnight right now. We'll do more of this later, but I just wanted to be the first person live here on Dylan Knows to do Happy Father's Day to everybody. Nightmare Before Christmas is going to be celebrating its 30th anniversary later this year. And to celebrate, they're releasing 30th anniversary Funko Pops, one of which, the Pumpkin King, is going to be a first for the Funko company. It's going to be a scented Funko Pop. Don't know what the scent is going to be, but it is the Pumpkin King. The one that they have is him burning, so I doubt it'll be him like burning. But you never know. So yeah, so that's what that is. Lenny Rush, who is a actor who's a dwarf, has joined the cast of the new Doctor Who season, the one with Gudi Nwada, which is filming right now. Reese's has a new crossover with Pillsbury Dough. They're doing Reese's Cake Dough Poppers. Cookie dough poppers. They are, raw cookie dough with Reese's flavors that you can eat. And it says you can eat it raw all over it. So it's not going to make you sick. Fede Alvarez's Alien film has an August 26, 2024 release window now. An Ohio woman was told to take down her 9-foot werewolf statue sort of thing, but she's not doing it, which is good. A well-preserved 3,000-year-old sword has been found in my motherland, Germany. I'm still American, born American, but Lang, if you've ever gone over way back in the 1800s, whatever, Lang is German, is a German name. I'm German descent. I'm American. I was born here in Maryland, and my family pretty much for generations has been born here, but Lang is German, and we all came from other places because we're not Native Americans. So Germany's my motherland for the most part, but that's pretty cool. Anniversaries. The Monkees' Pleasant Valley Sunday, one of their big hits, was released this week in 1967. So 67, 77, 87, 97, 2007, 2017. It is 56 years old. And Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3 was released 3 years ago this week, which is a big one for me because 2020 was a rough year, and I have the episodes of Dylan Knows to tell you everything that I talked about. I probably did an episode where I talked about Fortnite. And I joined Fortnite because my son started playing it in early 2020. And so I was watching him. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world because I'd heard, up to before then, I'd heard it was kind of a dumb game and it was overly popular. And I thought it was dumb, but I'd never actually seen it played. And then when I actually saw it played, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. So then I discovered they had one for your phone. So I think this is the actual phone I used 3 years ago to play Fortnite before Epic got into a tiff with Apple, and it got removed from the game shop and was never updated. And I don't even want to go in there anymore because I got a Switch for my birthday in 2020, which is this week. So my Switch is 20 years old also. Wow. And so Fortnite Chapter 2, I started. So once I saw my son having a good time doing it, I said I was going to do it. So I started on, because I didn't have the Switch Lite yet, I started on my phone with halfway through Chapter 2, Season 2. Actually, it was more 3/4 of the way through. And I enjoyed it immensely. And then I got real excited when I saw my first live event. And then Season 2, Chapter 3 was my first full season, my first full battle pass where I could start right on the ground floor and start doing stuff. And it's gone on from there. I've been the new season just started last week, and I've been doing pretty good with that. So having fun with that. We got hit with a bunch of big deaths right here at the beginning of the show. I'm going to talk about first up, Ray Lewis III. Ray Lewis's son died at 28 years old of an alleged drug overdose. Don't know if that's what they believe it was, but we'll see what happens about that. Treat Williams, character actor who's been in a bunch of stuff, actually made an appearance in Empire Strikes Back, uncredited, but also did The Phantom, and he's a character Treat Williams, I think Dead Heat or something like that's another one he did, but he's done a lot of stuff. He died in a motorcycle accident. So his actor died this week in a motorcycle accident. Cormac McCarthy, writer of No Country for Old Men and The Road and a whole bunch of dystopian sort of books, has died this week also. And iconic comic book artist John Romita Sr. Passed away this week as well. He was the one who took over Spider-Man after Steve Ditko left early on. He was the one that really created Mary Jane's look, and also was the artist on the highly touted Spider-Man No More storyline. He was the artist of Spider-Man Forever, did a bunch of other stuff to help design other characters, including Wolverine, helped create and design Wolverine. So he's, and his son, John Romita Jr., is still an artist at Marvel right now, and has been for a while too. So John Romita Jr. is getting up there too. But John Romita Sr., one of my favorite comic book artists, passed away this week at the age of, don't have his age, but he died this week. I think he was in his 80s at least. So I think he had a good long life there. Okay, no other things. Okay, so that being said, it is time for Tudum, Netflix's weekend convention sort of thing where they announce a whole bunch of new things. That's not true. They're not really announcing anything. They're more along the lines of showing where we are with certain things. So the first big one is they're really getting into the live action anime stuff. They did some Cowboy Bebop that didn't do so well, but they've already started work on live action Avatar, the Airbender, and live action One Piece. But we haven't been seeing a lot from them until today. The live action One Piece, we got the first trailer for the live action One Piece, and I'd never seen One Piece before. I know about it, but I've never seen it before. And I love this trailer, and I think it looks outstanding. I think I'm going to want to watch it. And what surprised me most is once the trailer ended, we got the date. It's going to come out August 31st. It's coming out in 2 months. I was thinking it was going to come out at the end of the year or something like that, but no, this is coming out in 2 months. And it looks good. It looks really, really good. So I'm really excited for that. So I'm going to probably catch that when it comes on in August 31st, right back when kids are going back to school. Even though school went left out this week, they're going back to school. Live action One Piece will be rolling that weekend. The live action Airbender, we got the Airbender, Avatar, the Airbender, the last Airbender. We got a teaser trailer. It didn't show anything except for all the elemental signs, and then the name, and then just says 2024. So we have no date other than it won't be out till 2024. But they did release some behind the scenes pictures, which shows some of the characters, including the main character, and they look as they're supposed to. They look anime correct. So that's good on that. Stranger Things, one of their biggest shows out there, season 5, they announced, actually it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who announced that Linda Hamilton will be joining the cast of Stranger Things season 5. So that was really cool, actually seeing Arnold do the introduction for her, which is kind of cool since they worked together on like 3, 4, 3. She wasn't in Terminator 3, but she was in 1 and 2, and then that last one. So that's pretty cool. Cobra Kai, they didn't have any information other than they showed the actors sitting around the table for the first table reads of the final season, just a way to get people jazzed up about it. Wednesday season 2 again didn't have any stuff because they really haven't started work on it because of the WGA and stuff like that. But they did have the cast out there and they were talking about different rumors, stuff like that. The one piece of information that did come out about Wednesday season 2 is that a until now unforeseen member of the Addams family will be making their appearance in season 2. That leaves, to me, I believe, only 2. I don't think Grandmama has shown up yet, and I think Cousin It's the other one. So we have those 2 possibly coming in Wednesday season 2. Also, the fact that Jenna Ortega is now a producer, and she's like, let's nix the romantic triangle stuff because that's not Wednesday. So we're going to get more of the horror Addams family stuff, which is really, really great. So good on that. Arnold Schwarzenegger's hugely popular show Fubar was announced getting a second season. So Arnold still got it, and he's got a second season there coming up for that. Bridgerton season 3 first look popped up this week as well. Didn't give a date, but they had, I know a lot of people do like Bridgerton, so the first look at the season 3 popped up as well. They also revealed a scene from Witcher season 3, but we'd already seen the trailer, so it's kind of not really as exciting. But they need to do something. They did the trailer for Money Heist Berlin. Money Heist was a series, I guess, of films they're going to be doing with different crews around the world, breaking different heists and doing stuff. So the Money Heist Berlin trailer popped up there. Squid Game, the game, reality game show they're doing where they're got a bunch of people to come in and they're going to do the actual Squid Game with these reality contestants, except they're not going to kill anybody. They had their first trailer for that, and it's like, okay, yippee, looks blur. They also had the first look at the actual Squid Game TV show season 2. They got the cast members come on, and again, nothing shown, just sort of a, hey, we're here, we're back, we're filming. So, get ready. It's coming soon, blah, blah. I think it's coming end of 2024 from what I recall Squid Game season 2 is. But to satiate your Squid Game stuff, you've got this dumb reality show coming up. It's Korean. Netflix has a really good Korean connection, and they are releasing what they're calling, you have the K-pop music. Now we're doing a K reality show called 19 to 20, which is going to follow a bunch of 19 and 20-year-old Korean kids as they go from their teen years to their 20s. So that's due out July 11th. Just a poster reveal for that, but it is just sort of like a reality show, like the real world, really. So nothing too exciting, I guess. Friday saw the release of Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth, and it did very well. So, of course, Hemsworth came on during Tudum and said Extraction 3 is starting to come together. So we're going to see an Extraction 3 coming up here soon. So that's pretty cool. We saw a trailer for Gal Gadot's new action film called Heart of Stone. It's due out August 11th. Gal Gadot and Jamie Dormer. And it's written by Greg Rucka, who's a great comic book writer and a good crime writer. So it's an action-packed sort of trailer, like a Gal Gadot female action hero sort of thing. Looks pretty cool. So that's coming up real soon. The Lincoln Lawyer Season 2 trailer popped up this week also. We learned that it's going to be divided in 2 parts. Part 1 is going to be July 6th. Part 2 is going to be August 3rd. The most interesting trailer was, India's Bollywood is hugely popular filmmaking thing. Well, they are doing a movie based on the Archies, the faux band created by Archie, Jughead, and Betty and Veronica and all that. They are doing a movie set in 1964, but it's with the Bollywood actors, and it's a unique take on the Archies, but it is called the Archies, and it looks like Jughead will not be named Jughead. He's got an S on his sweater, so it must be something more in the Indian realm of a name, so similar to a Jughead in the Indian realm. So we'll check that out, see what that is. What's the other one I had here? Then there's a weird trailer for the next event series from the creators of Game of Thrones, the TV show, not the books. 3-Body Problem, which I didn't really, the trailer did exactly what it was supposed to. It made you go, huh? And it didn't make, well, the trailer was supposed to make you want to go see the show. I have no desire to see a show, but it just made me go, huh? but there's enough people out there who'll see that and go, oh, I kind of want to see what this is going to be about. But I would not be surprised if this is going to be one of their big pushes. I think it's in December. I think this was the one. I knew there's one in December. I think this one's coming out in December. And it looks like it has some American actors. It looks like some Korean actors in it too. So it might be a collaboration between the Korean and the Americans as well. And then the rest are just other shows on Netflix that I really don't pay much attention to. OBX season 4 trailer popped up. Heartstopper season 2 first look popped up as well. The actor who is the lead in You teased the final season of You, and Lily Collins teased the Emily in Paris season 4. So that's all your Tudum stuff. Now there's other Netflix stuff that was revealed prior to Tudum, and we'll get to that later in the show because I have them. I'm doing in the order of when I got the information, but that's all the stuff that came out this afternoon during Tudum. So there's your Tudum moment. Definitely need to get the refrigerator fixed because that's ridiculous. It should be ice cold. Gendy Tartakovsky, his Primal season 3 is now a go, so he gets that. He's going to pop up a little later in the show here. Lionel Richie's mansion towers over the U.S. Open in L.A. The U.S. Open golf tour is going on right now in one of L.A.'s premier golf courses, and a hole 4 up on a hill is Lionel Richie's massive mansion. So that's kind of funny. See that Lionel Richie was born on June 20th. Also, he's a fellow June 20th baby. Dinosaur named after the two-faced Roman god Janus is believed to be the link between evolutions of duck-billed dinosaurs that they just discovered. So that's pretty cool. Kentucky Fried Oreos with soft serve is now available at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They are Oreos that are not covered in chicken. No, it's the Kentucky Fried Oreo. So they have the Kentucky Fried, the way they fry their chicken, the Kentucky Fried Chicken way. They also fry the Oreo, the Kentucky Fried Oreo way. So then you get it with a soft serve dessert. A saloon in Port Tobacco, Maryland was inspired by a ghost dog. I believe I had another ghost cat encounter last week, and I think it might be Jinx this time instead of Bonnie, since she's been dead for a little bit over a year now. And it was just a weird thing. I heard it sound like somebody was coming down the upstairs steps, and nobody was there. But it wasn't like loud like it was one of the kids, but I heard something, and I thought maybe that might be Jinx. So ghost cat. Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie are reteaming for a movie they did, a sequel to a movie they did a while back called The Bone Collector. So you get The Bone Collector 2. Harley Quinn's new season, the animated version, is coming to Max in summer 2023, meaning anywhere from Wednesday, which is the first day of summer, to September 21st, so, or 23rd, whatever the first day of fall is. Anywhere in between there, Harley Quinn season 4 will be popping up on Max, so keep your eyes peeled for that. 86-year-old returns the book George Orwell's 1984 after having it for 65 years, thinking that it's time for more people to read it because of what's going on in the world right now. And he said he had a full intention of returning it after he graduated college, but life happened. And he never returned it till just now. 2 Superman comics sell at auction for $1.5 million each. That was Action number 1 and Superman number 1, both considered to be some of the most hugely sought after and high-priced comics out there. Speaking of Superman, the hated Superman 3 celebrated its 40-year anniversary this week. And on June 16th, 1884, or is that 89? 84, 89, I can't tell. I think it's 89. Might be 84. Either it's 1884 or 1889. The first roller coaster ever opened in Coney Island. It's convenient because my wife and daughter were at Hershey Park and rode roller coasters today. And finally, the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film is 12 years old. 12 years old. Holy God. That's long time ago. It seemed like only yesterday it came out, but that also had Taika Waititi in it. Did not know that until a few years ago, so that was kind of crazy. I wasn't the biggest fan of the casting of Ryan Reynolds at the time because I thought he was better suited for a Wally West Flash movie, but he did okay. And the movie, I think, is should not be as hated as it is. What's the term that the one guy has the blog on the podcast on? It's overhated. I think it's way overhated. I don't think it's that bad. Now, the villain of the piece, just this mob thing of the yellow, was stupid. It should have done the dragon sword thing they did in the comics, but that's whatever. But they had some good casting. Mark Strong as Sinestro is outstanding. And this is the movie that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds fell in love on, so it's kind of cool too. So 12 years, God. I guess since we're sticking on the anniversary, got a lot here right now. Speaking of superheroes, Batman Begins, the Chris Nolan's first one in the trilogy, is 18 years old. My God. Wow. Speaking of Angelina Jolie, one of my my secret favorites that I love is Tomb Raider. Her Tomb Raider, 22 years ago this week. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's a bad movie. I think it's extraordinarily entertaining, and I love it. And I might actually go back and revisit it. I haven't revisited it in a while. The week my kids and wife are away, and I'm just be home alone watching movies. So that'd be cool. Back to School, a great Rodney Dangerfield comedy that also includes a young Robert Downey Jr. Is 37 years old this week. The new Doctor Who, the Ninth Doctor popped up, and Rose and Bad Wolf and all that stuff. 18 years this week. Doctor Who came back to life and is still going strong. Black Adder, the Rowan Atkinson anthology TV show, is 40 years old this week. Ghostbusters 2, a okay sequel. I don't like it that much because the first one is so good, and this is just kind of off. There's some good bits in it, but there's a lot that's wrong with it. But it's okay. They have some good sequences in it, but it's not the original Ghostbusters, and it's not Ghostbusters Afterlife either. So, but it's still considered canon. So here we are. Another Batman movie, Batman Forever, the one with Val Kilmer and Joel Schumacher and all that. Nicole Kidman, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Drew Barrymore. He makes an appearance in there as well. It's 28 years old this week, and this is the week where Kevin Smith is going to see the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, and I don't see how you can improve upon this movie. Chris O'Donnell as Robin as well popped in too. Gremlins 2, an underrated sequel that I need to rewatch again. It's been a while since I've seen it. Came out in 1990. Did not do as good as the original one because it was so different than the original one and a bit more slapsticky and comedic, but it was definitely a unique experience. Clash of the Titans came out in 1981 this week, so that's a classic one I watched a lot all the time. And Grease is the word. 45 years ago this week. Wow. Grease is 45 years old. That is absolutely insane. I still like Grease a lot. I know it's a weird film for a lot of people, but it's still a fun one. It's still a real fun film. So Grease is the word. Some deaths here. Robert Gottlieb, the literary editor of Toni Morrison and Robert Core, died at the age of 92 this week. Glenda Jackson, an character actress, died this week as well. Didn't get an age on that. Einstein, not the Einstein from Back to the Future. Einstein, dog who was the motion capture dog for Kane from Red Dead Redemption 2, dies at the age of 13 this week. Is that all the deaths? That's all the deaths this week. The sequel to Twister, Twisters is due out, has a date now, due out July 19th, 2024. New poster release for that. It's a pretty badass looking poster. But yes, July 19th, 2024. 2024 is looking to be pretty big because we also have Argyle, which is the new Henry Cavill, Matthew Vaughn, a spy film, due early 2024 as well. I think they did Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is another underrated film. So yeah, there's that as well. Anything else big here? This is an odd sort of thing. Now, there's going to be a new channel called the Maximum Effort channel on Fubo. I don't know what the frig Fubo is, but there's a new channel starting this week called Maximum Effort. And did they get a big person or not to do a show for it? A 15-episode show called Bedtime Stories with Ryan. And Ryan is, yes, Ryan Reynolds. We've been talking about earlier about with his Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds has a 15-episode show for this Maximum Effort channel on Fubo. And it is basically just what the title says. It's Ryan Reynolds dressed in pajamas, walking into a bedroom and reading story to two sheep in bed. I don't think they're real sheep. I think they're baby sheep or whatever. It's a children's show, obviously, and he's reading bedtime stories, but that is it. It's Ryan Reynolds reading bedtime stories. It's kind of cool. Martin Ford, and here's how I spelled Martin. This is weird. Martgn, or no, YN, excuse me, Martin. Martin Ford, Desmond Chirin, Anna Through-Goyen, and Dan Henson have ran up the cast of Mortal Kombat 2. So now the whole cast is set, and the film is going to start filming here shortly. Wonderwell, Carrie Fisher's last film, gets a trailer and a release date later this summer. It was a film that's been sitting on the shelf for 7 years, since just before our princess died. I did not watch it because I don't know if I really want to see it, but it's out there though. The Vampire, Blood and Ink, to star Malcolm McDowell in a adaptation of a 1819 novel. So obviously a novel that has never been adapted before is now going to be adapted, and it's got vampires and blood and ink and Malcolm McDowell in it. Swan X Barbie Pink Lemonade. That could be actually really good. I want to try that now because Barbie's all about the pink stuff. So it makes sense to do a crossover with Pink Lemonade. I guess Swan is a particular lemonade brand. So I want to check it out, see if I can find it. But yes, there's going to be a Barbie Pink Lemonade out there, and I want to try it because I've been obsessed with pink lemonade for a while. I haven't had it for a long time, but I used to get the Tropicana pink lemonade all the time, and I also always thought that I would write a character that I would play in a movie or TV show who was obsessed with pink lemonade, would always be drinking pink lemonade or have pink lemonade in there. I don't know why. I just thought it'd be kind of cool, but that's just me. This date, not this date, but June 16th. On this date in movie history, meaning movie history, actually in the movie, Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy's characters from Before Sunrise had their walk through Vienna on June 16th. So I love that movie. Before Sunset is still my favorite, but Before Sunrise is a good one to begin with. And yes, it was set on June 16th. So we have the anniversary this week. Ethan Hawke always sends Julie Delpy a tweet about this date. He called it Bloom Day or something like that. So it's kind of neat. Now, there's been a trend lately, and I'm not. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine, and it's cool because it's kind of neat to see where these people are 20, no, it'll be 30 years later. 30-ish, late 20, 30 years later. Natasha Henstridge, the sexy actress who popped up in the late 90s Species movies. Species 2, by the way, was filmed in Baltimore, and I was asked to be an extra, and it would be in a 12-hour extra sequence. And in retrospect, I probably should have done that. I think that'd be kind of cool. The movie sucked, but still would have been a really cool experience. but I was working at the bagel shop at that time. They didn't have anybody to cover for that day, so I had to say no, which sucks. But it'd been nice to see that. But Natasha Henstridge, Species. If you haven't seen Species, it's a sexy alien movie about an alien that grows into sexy Natasha Henstridge, who walks around naked and attacks people. I think Alfred Molina's in that one also. I could be wrong. Might not be that one. It might be a different one. And then it was so successful because it's sexy Natasha Henstridge walking around naked that they made a sequel, Species 2, which tanked and bombed the whole series. And then it went direct to DVD with not Natasha Henstridge. And then she sort of disappeared. Did a couple of things here, but she hasn't really popped up again until now. She has signed on to star in the movie Cinderella's Revenge, which has been one that's sort of been popping around here on my Facebook feed for a while. So I don't know if she's going to be playing Cinderella as an older woman or if she's going to play the evil stepmother. I'm not exactly sure what her role is, but at this time, Natasha Henstridge was probably in her 20s when she did it in the 90s. So it's almost 30 years. She's about my age, probably. Actually, let's do some research, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see how old Natasha Henstridge is. Actually, let's go not here. Let's go. Boom. Let's go to here. Natasha. Oh, she doesn't pop up. Henstridge. There we go. Now she does. Born in 1974. So she is the same age as my wife, born August 15th, 1974. She was in The Whole 9 Yards, The Whole 10 Yards, Ghosts of Mars, Eli Stone, stuff like that. But now she's going to be in this movie called Cinderella's Revenge. Again, let's see if they have her role in there. Nothing yet, because it probably hasn't been announced totally yet. So there's that. So Natasha, as I said, this is like, she's just the latest in a whole bunch of late 90s actors and actresses who are starting to make comebacks here in films that actually are not like direct to DVD or streaming or whatever, the ones who could possibly make their way to theaters. And Cinderella's Revenge has been one of those that sort of popped up recently as being, on the same trend as like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey and stuff like that. So we'll see about that, and we'll see that works out there. There is going to be a behind-the-scenes book written about the Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe movies. And that sounds absolutely fascinating to me. And I think I might pick that up, but it's still being written now, I guess. It's not due out yet. I don't think it's available for pre-order yet. Let's see if I don't even have the name of it. They just said there is going to be a book about the behind the scenes stuff of the Corman Poe. Corman Poe. There it goes. Corman Poe book. Well, I guess it is. It says Corman Poe interviews and essays exploring the making of Roger Corman's Edgar Allan Poe movie. So maybe it is out there, but it sounds fascinating. So it might be one to check out if you were interested in that type of stuff. Illumination, who just hit pay dirt with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Last week, there were announcements all over the place that The Legend of Zelda will be the next Illumination movie coming to movie theaters. This week, Illumination has said, whoa. We never said that. And that's where, the internet kind of is stupid, where there's all kinds of rumors that pop up, and then major networks glean on the rumors because it's a no-brainer. Legend of Zelda movie would make probably about as much money as the Super Mario Brothers movie, because the Legend of Zelda video game is going to be the top-selling video game of this year, and there's already huge fans for it, and it's already a cinematics-ready sort of movie. So, to be continued. It could be all smoke screen. So like, hey, surprise, guess what? We're doing Legend of Zelda. Everybody's going to go, yeah, we know you are. We said that. But they're saying for now, we're not doing one right now. I guess they wanted to quell people's, because it takes a couple of years to make animated film anyway. So we probably wouldn't see this until 2026 anyway at the earliest. If they start working on it now. So we'll see. What We Do in the Shadows season 5 trailer popped up. So season 5 is going to be coming up here really soon. So if you're a fan of that, go ahead and do that. Rainbow Rice Krispies is a new thing. It's not a Pride thing, even though I'm wearing my Pride shirt today. It is not a Pride thing, but you could definitely foresee it as a Pride thing. But it's just Rainbow Rice Krispies. So and maybe it's a Pride thing, but it didn't say that in the article. So that's what it is. Ben and Jerry's is releasing a new ice cream flavor called the Sunny Honey Home. And what's interesting about it is that a bunch of refugees from a country in South America came to America, and Ben and Jerry somehow were able to talk to them and discover that there was this flavor of ice cream that they had back in whatever country they're from. And so they said, can you make it? And they worked it out. So it is a honey lemon flavored ice cream. And I think it's going to be one of those things where the money is going to go to refugee what do you call them? People who you give money for free. I don't remember them. It's after midnight and I'm high on, and I'm 50 years old. I'm forgetting stuff anyway. So like charity stuff. That's what it is, charities. So there you go. So that's actually kind of an interesting idea for a flavor, honey lemon one. That might be one to check out. This one I'm not so sure about. Pringles, which is the first of two stories with Pringles. Pringles is releasing a salty strawberry flavored Pringle. I don't think salt and strawberries go together, nor do I think salt and strawberries go together on, it's not really a potato chip, but a potato wedge, potato thingy that Pringles is. So we'll find out, I guess. Maybe we'll try it. I don't know. So we'll see. Here's some sports ball stuff. We are now at that period of time in the sports world where the only thing going on right now is baseball and the WNBA. Hockey and the NBA have just wrapped up their championship series this week. The Stanley Cup winners are the Las Vegas Knights, a team that's only been around for close to 4 to 5 years, but they've been pretty in it for the most part during those 4 to 5 years. So they won Stanley Cup, and the Denver Nuggets won their first ever NBA championship against Miami this week as well. So the NBA and the NHL are done. Baseball is going full steam right now. The WNBA is going on full steam right now. I was at Green Turtle today. The CFL Canadian Football League Super Bowl Grey Cup was today. So that's finishing up. So right now all we got left, as I said, is WNBA and baseball. Football is in the middle of mandatory training camp mandatory mini camp. Training camp does not start. This will be the last camp they do until full-on training camp, which will be sometime mid-July. So they're going to get about 3 weeks off, and then they're back full-on prepping for the season. So the season for football basically is going to start here in July with training camp every day, and then the preseason games start in August and stuff like that. So that's coming up here soon. So, but yeah, we're in this windows now where it's just baseball right now and the WNBA, and that's really about it. So, I mean, hey, we got 3 days left? What's the 18th now? 3 days left in spring, and summer starts on Wednesday. By the way, my 50th birthday is on Tuesday. Just a reminder, I've been saying this all show. June 20th is my birthday, 50th birthday, 9 a.m. So I got that out of the way. All right. The Curiosity rover keeps bringing back some really nice photographs, and the one they released this week they took a shot during the sunrise and during the day in the same spot and made a postcard of what it looks like at sunrise and during the day. And it's really kind of a neat sort of picture to see stuff. Might have been better if you did one at night, a sunset as well. There is a sunset picture that came out. It would be nice if they would have added that to the postcard, but then it would be a little off kilter, I guess. A cat went on a strange adventure. I guess got out of his house and ended up with some strangers who took him to a nightclub and a kebab shop in a 140-mile trip, and it's finally back home and has been punished according to the owners of the cat. Still know how that all came to be, but there's a cat who went to clubbing and kebab place 140 miles round trip around this house. Interesting. The Flash director, Andy Muschietti, has officially been chosen to direct the Batman-centric Brave and Bold film coming from James Gunn's studio. I'm sorry, the DCU, excuse me. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It was rumored last week. I mentioned it in my show last week, and now it's official. He has officially signed on for that. So we got him for that. And we got the dude who did the most recent Indiana Jones film and also did Logan to do Swamp Thing movie. So he's got a couple directors already set, and he's doing the Superman Legacy movie. So he's got a couple directors already set for his DCU stuff. Got a little more DCU stuff coming up later in the show. But now we have another Netflix story that was not a part of Tudum, but was news that came out ahead of Tudum. Netflix is going to release a new Charlie Kaufman written movie. Now, Charlie Kaufman is one of those bizarre writers who writes these really bizarre sort of movies, but always get Oscar nominated, stuff like that. The difference this time is it's an animated film, and it's due out in 2024. It's called Orion and the Dark. So we'll see if that is how that is. But it is a Charlie Kaufman written movie that is animated, releasing next year, 2024. So could be interesting there. The Incredible Hulk has always been the one MCU movie that's sort of been the black sheep of the family. Still is kind of, because Edward Norton is Bruce Banner, now it's Mark Ruffalo sort of thing. It's not a bad movie. It's actually not too bad. And you get the Robert De Niro, and I called him Robert De Niro, and I called him, what's the other Robert name I called him? Whatever. Robert Downey Jr. Rodney Dangerfield was the other thing I called him. Robert Downey Jr. Appearance in The Incredible Hulk. And basically, what is it? Is it Captain America? Brave New World? Captain America Brave New World is basically going to be kind of a sequel to Incredible Hulk, because it brings back Liv Tyler's Betty Ross. It has Harrison Ford taking over for the deceased William Hurt in the role of Thunderbolt Ross. And we're also getting the thinker that was teased in this movie as well, all coming to Brave New World. But The Incredible Hulk, the movie with Edward Norton and all those actors, has officially come back under Disney's protection and is now a canonical part of the MCU. And it is now on Disney Plus for those who have not seen it. Cobwebs trailers, the new horror film coming out later this year. Don't know much about it, but there it is. Twinkie cheesecake sounds pretty delicious, and I wouldn't mind trying one. I just saw that advertised, so kind of cool. Cinnamon and brown sugar Planters cashews. Planters cashews are the best, and now you have a cinnamon and brown sugar flavored one that makes them even better. Bradley Cooper and Will Arnett are going to be starring in a film called Is This Thing On? We don't know much about it, but it will be directed by Bradley Cooper, who's getting quite a career now as a director. He directed A Star is Born and got some Academy Award love, even though he didn't win anything. He's directing the current biopic about Leonard Bernstein called Maestro, which actually looks pretty good. Come out later this year for Academy Award. Looking later this in next year, and it'll come out probably in the fall in the usual time. And it looks good. Bradley Cooper's playing Leonard Bernstein, and so now Cooper is directing his third straight film. This one is This Thing On with Will Arnett. So don't know if it's going to be a comedy or a comedy drama or what. We don't know anything about it. It's a whole secretive sort of thing. But they are officially signed on for that. Another Netflix thing that was not on Tudum. We have the Nimona trailer, which is based on a graphic novel that my daughter read that she really, really enjoyed. It is an animated film, and I saw the trailer, and I like the trailer, and I want to see the movie. It's due out June 30th, so I'll probably see it that week, probably when my family's away, and then I'll watch it with my daughter again, probably. Or maybe I'll wait for my daughter. Well, no, I won't, because she's going to be working all the time, so we'll see. But Nimona trailer, due out. If you haven't checked it out, check that out, as well as the One Piece live action trailers that was released with Tudum today. But Nimona was not released. Nimona was released before Tudum, and it looks good, and I like it. Blue Beetle is now officially going to be the first superhero movie in the James Gunn universe. DCU, excuse me. James Gunn announced this week. Thank God that they are just brushing the Flash out of the way. They finally got it in theaters and say, okay, we're done with you. Let's get rid of this bullshit. Tomb Raider TV show is teased again by Phoebe Waller-Bridges while she's discussing her role in the Indiana Jones movie coming up on June 30th as well. So that's pretty good. Also, not released, not mentioned on Tudum, but Netflix is also going to have a Chicken Run sequel. Chicken Run was a stop-motion animated film from Aardman Studios, which I think was nominated for Best Animated Film back in 2000, I think was when it came out. And people have been wanting a sequel for a long time, and it's finally coming. So Netflix announced pre-Tudum that they'll be releasing a Chicken Run sequel. I forget the name of it. Something to do with a baby or something like that is going to be involved in it on December 15th. So it's going to be their holiday sort of movie. They tend to do like one of these sort of holiday movies all the year, and Chicken Run, the sequel seems like it's going to be a good one. Now, I don't know if this is going to be affected by the rules that Academy Award is. I don't even know if it's officially been announced yet, but I think the Academy Awards are going to say that if you want to get into the Academy Award discussion, you will need to release your film into movie theaters, even if it's only for a week or whatever, instead of just going direct to streaming, which a lot of these streamers have been doing lately. So I don't know if that's indeed the case. We're still going to do that. If that was just something that I thought of, but if they don't release Chicken Run into theaters, it will not be able to try to go for Best Animated Film of the Year. Anyway, it's not going to win anyway because Spider-Verse is going to win, but that's besides the point. And I'm going to see that probably that same week when my family's gone as well. Sticking with animation, Christopher Lloyd, Carrie Elways, and Stockard Channing have all been signed on to do voice work for the Knuckles TV show based on the character from the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Paramount Plus is doing a TV show with Knuckles. I don't think Idris Elba is going to be doing the voice of Knuckles, but he might be. I read the article. It didn't say anything about Idris Elba, so we'll see. But yes, the Knuckles TV show has cast those actors in important roles, apparently. Chewy granola cereal. Chewy granola bar is one of my daughter's favorite snacks, and I actually like them pretty good too. They're actually really good too. But now there's a cereal. There's a chocolate flavored, and there is I want to say strawberry flavored. I don't think that's right though. That doesn't sound right for chewy granola. Chocolate and something else. I don't know what the other one is, but it is cereal now. It's going to be like the chewy granola, but it's going to be cereal. So it's going to be like granola cereal, but it's going to be chewy. So Chuck Norris wants to do a sequel to his movie Sidekicks. The problem is his co-star Jonathan Brandis has been dead for a really long time. So I don't know if he is going to do one, if he's going to recast the role or it's going to be a different character or whatever. Plus, Chuck Norris, you're old. How old are you? Let's find this out too. I found out when Natasha Henstridge is. Chuck Norris has got to be a lot older than her. So let's find out. Chuck Norris. He should pop up right away. No, that's Chick Norris. Chuck Norris. If there he is. 1940. He's older than my dad and my mom and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. Jesus Christ. 1940. That makes you 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 83 years old. Now, I guess if Clint Eastwood can still direct and act in films at the age of 90, I guess it's so good, but it doesn't make any sense, and I don't know. Anniversary, the Police's album Synchronicity, which is one of their most famous ones, came out 40 years ago this week. 1983. A lot of shit happened in 1983. All right, so this is something that isn't unusual anymore, and it is not because, as everybody seems to, particularly comicbook.com and comicbook.net and all that bullshit, who seems to have a hard-on for Zack Snyder and absolutely trying to demolish Marvel. Doesn't make any sense. If you hate Marvel, that's fine, but you don't have to keep doing hit articles about them. But we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to go on a rant about that. However, due to the Writers Guild Association strike, and not because Disney is falling apart at the seams, films are going to get moved around a little bit due to certain things, because you have to have certain windows to get the special effects done and stuff like that. And so they're also saying it's also due to the fact that, the Marvel movies have been doing that good, so they're not going to release 3 in a year. But shut the fuck up. It's all due to the WGA and stuff like that. And that's not just Marvel stuff. It's Star Wars and it's Avatar. Your God Savior James Cameron movies have also been moved back, and they've been moved back a long way. So let's take a look at this stuff here. The first batch of stuff we're going to look at is the Star Wars movies. There's 3 Star Wars movies that have been announced, and I don't know if they are a trilogy. I don't think they are because of the dates that they're coming out on. I think so. One would be the Rey one, and one is going to be maybe Taika Waititi's, and one is going to, I don't know. There's 3 out there, and I don't know which ones of the 3s these are, but these are they had other dates for these movies to come out. They've shifted those dates. So movie number 1 of Star Wars, whatever that one may be, is due out now, May 22nd, 2026. So that's 3 years from now. Movie number 2 is due out December 18th, 2026. So it can't really be a trilogy because it's got to be separate Star Wars movies. And then Star Wars movie number 3 is due out December 17th, 2027. So Star Wars is coming, but not for 3 years. Now you got The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all the TV shows to satiate you. Well, this might be the Filoni one. So you have the Filoni one, you've got the Filoni one, the Rey one, and whatever the third one is. I would bet probably the Filoni one will probably be the May 22nd, 2026. The Rey one will probably be December 28th, 2026. I would bet. But what do I know? And again, these dates could change. If the Writers Guild strike gets settled and they start working on these films and they get done quicker than normal, they might shift the dates back again. But these are now the official new dates for the Star Wars movies. Filoni's, Rey's, and whatever the third one is. So we don't know. Whatever order, there they are. The Avatar movies. Oh, God, Avatar. Yes, because of the record breaking of both 1 and 2, there's going to be 3 more. And we have the names for them, too, already. Avatar, the Seed Bearer, is now shifted to December 19th, 2025. It was supposed to come out next year. It's not coming out next year. It's coming out in 2 years now. Avatar, the Tolkien Rider, whatever that fucking thing is out December 21st, 2029. Holy fuck. 2029. I'm going to be 56 years old when that comes out. Good God. Oh, it gets even better. And then the final one, The Quest for Iwa, whatever the fuck that is, December 19th, 2031. 2031. I will be 58 years old. 58. My daughter will be, will be 19 when The Seed Bearer comes out. Will be 23 when the Tolkien Rider comes out. Be 25 when the Quest for Iwa comes out. My son will be, will be 20 when the Tolkien Rider comes out in 2029. So 16 when the Seed Bearer comes out. And then 22 when the Quest for Iwa comes out. That gives you a lot to think about, man. That's crazy. But that's fine with me. And the less we see stupid Avatar movies, the less we see James Cameron say, I'm the greatest director that ever lived. With this time frame, he could probably make a different movie that isn't Avatar within that window, probably. Maybe make 2, maybe. But he works really long, so we'll see. Finally, the one everybody's waiting for is the Marvel list of movies that are due out. One major change, which is kind of interesting, is that Deadpool 3 which was originally scheduled to come out in November of 2024, has now been pushed up to the May 2024 window. So it will kick off summer 2024. Deadpool 3 is moving up. Now, what was supposed to kick off summer 2024, Captain America Brave New World, that has now been pushed to July 26th, 2024. Now, what was supposed to be on July 26, 2024? Well, Thunderbolts was supposed to be on July 26, 2024. Thunderbolts has been moved to December 20th, 2024. So we're going to get a Marvel movie in December. I think it's going to be the first time we've ever... No, I think the Eternals is November. So, yeah, I think it's the first time we'll have a Marvel movie in December. Blade, which continues to have all kinds of issues, has been moved now to Valentine's Day 2025, February 14th, 2025. That's a interesting. Take your girlfriend or wife to Blade and then suck the blood. Well, I got the side point about that. That means the Fantastic Four movie, which was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day 2025, has now been pushed to the beginning of summer 2025, May 2nd, 2025, Fantastic Four. I'm going to make a statement here now. I am going to bet that they will be announcing the Fantastic Four cast at San Diego or at D20. That's the only other one I can think of that they might. Those are the two. But I think San Diego is probably going to be the best window for them to announce the cast for Fantastic Four. Now, I hope it's not the cast that's been thrown out there right now because I'm not the biggest fan of that one right now. Which then means that that means Avengers Kang Dynasty will now not be out until May 1st, 2026. And Avengers Secret War now moves to May 7th, 2027. Again, all these could move around again, depending on if the WGA comes to an agreement or SAG decides to go on strike also. So we'll see what happens. So those are your new dates for those. Speaking of Marvel stuff, the Daredevil Born Again and DC stuff, the Penguin TV shows, I always thought had already been put on hold, but apparently they had been able to work for a little bit, but now been put on hold again due to WGA strike. So that's going to be continuing with that right now. That was nothing else, right? Yeah. 1,000 years from now, Legos could be in the ocean. So basically, since Legos aren't going to break down anytime soon, 1,000 years from now, there's still people here, whatever, if the planet's still livable, whatever, or if there's archaeologists, alien archaeologists, whatever, they could go into the oceans. They might discover these strange multicolored bricks of Lego. So that's kind of interesting to look at. Netflix, Tudum, another story that came out before, Tudum. Netflix is going to be opening a restaurant with food from their different series. And I don't know what that means. I guess they have ideas. I mean, I guess you can do some stuff from Bridgerton or Stranger Things or whatever. I don't know. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito has joined the new Universal Monsters movie that everyone believes is going to be called Dracula's Daughter now, but he has now been cast in that. Peacemaker Season 2, James Gunn's huge hit for DC and Max, will go into production after James Gunn finishes Superman Legacy. So that's good news for fans of Peacemaker. Guillermo del Toro has decided that he is going to work exclusively on animation after he's done a couple of, he won the Oscar for animation and has got a couple of other big animation stuff going on. And that makes sense. I mean, animation can cost less. He can finally maybe do his H.P. Lovecraft movie. And does that mean he's going to stop doing live action films? He says exclusively animation. So it looks like that might be it for Guillermo del Toro doing live action films. So I don't know how the film lovers who suck up to him are going to react to that, but here we go. New movie called Home Education is going to star another, as I said, 90s, as I said, it's been a trend, the 90s cast off that. A lot of people was a big deal in the 90s and then disappeared in the 2000s, 2010s, and now making a comeback 2020s. Julia Ormond has been cast in Home Education, so good for her. This is an awesome story. a lot of people, know of the rivalry between Salieri and Mozart, or Mozart. Um, a lot of people, historians now have been saying that it is hugely over mentioned that there actually really wasn't that big of a rivalry between the two. Regardless, doesn't matter. Salieri is finally going to have an opera that he wrote in 1788, but was never released until now. 2024, we'll see the release of his opera for the first time ever. Will be released. Let's see, how many years is that then? So let's see, that's 6, 2, 1,226 years ago. 1,000? Yeah. 1,000, yeah. Yeah, 1,226 years ago. 1,000 years ago. Really? Yes. 1788. Yeah, 1788, 1888, 1988. No, it can't be right. I'm not mathing right. Let's check. Let's just check this out. Let's do the calculation. I'm getting old. As I said, I'm feeling my age. I'm turning 50 here. So 2024 minus 1788 equals 236 years ago. What the hell's the matter with you, son? 2, 1. That's 0, you dumbass. Okay. So yeah, 236 years ago. That makes more sense. Salieri wrote an opera that has never been produced until now, or until next year, I should say. 236. You're a moron. 1,226 years. Come on, man. I'm going to write in big notes. 236 years, dumbass. Anyway, all right. Adam Devine, Idris Elba, Catherine Hahn, Bobby Moynihan, Fred Armisen have joined the vocal cast of Genndy Tartakovsky. I talked about him earlier with Primal. He's doing a raunchy adult animated movie called Fixed, and those are the actors who will be doing the voices in Fixed. Jason Bateman is also going to be starring in and directing a series called Daddy Ball, based on an article in Vanity Fair for Netflix, Tudum. This was announced before Tudum. And the story is about, where is this? Dad on dad youth sports rivalry. So I guess it's two dads who are pushing their kids to be the very best at their sport, and that's what it's going to be. But he will be directing and starring in the show for Netflix, Tudum. The Elio trailer. Now, again, everybody is hating on Pixar and all that stuff now because Pixar, during COVID, released a lot of their movies direct to Disney Plus, and then the ones that have made it into the movie theaters recently have underperformed, due, I think, mostly the fact that people are waiting for them to show up on Disney Plus and then to watch it on their own. Because I guess they don't want to go to movie theaters where there's lots of rambunctious kids and you can't hear stuff like that. So, but we'll see. I'll talk about the movie box office here for this week in a second. Not a second, in a little bit. But the new trailer for a new Pixar movie trailer coming out in spring of 2024 for a movie called Elio popped up this week, and I watched it and I loved it. It's absolutely awesome. It looks great. And I also need to take a look at some of these other Pixar movies that won Strange New Worlds and the Lightyear ones. I gotta check those out. Because I've been trying to keep up with my Disney stuff. But Elio is a new Pixar film coming out in 2024. So 2024 is getting stacked here, which is really great. It looks great. Basically, it's about a kid, a boy whose mom works for like the NSA or whatever and is watching out for aliens and stuff like that. And finally, aliens have responded to one of our messages and they say, "Bring us your leader." And somehow this officer's son gets abducted by aliens who they believe he is the leader of Earth, and he decides to roll with it, and then he discovers that Earth is going to be put on trial. for crimes, for whatever. So he's going to have to defend it. So it looks really good. And I think it looks fantastic. And I think Pixar really hasn't lost a step, particularly with the reviews I've been hearing for Elemental, which came out this week, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But again, it might be one of these days, maybe a day or two during the week when I'm gone, when my wife and kids are gone and I have the house to myself. I might just go to the movie theater and check out Elemental and a few other things as well. Definitely not the Flash movie, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so that looks pretty good. So we'll go with that as well. Sticking with Disney sort of stuff, Boba Fett will not be getting a second season of the Book of Boba Fett, which is a shame because there is a lot of potential for it. And you just have to get away from, your personal sort of, Robert Rodriguez and Jon Favreau's, bringing their Star Wars action figure dreams to life. He needs to kind of get away from that and get back to the fact that, he's now the Hutt. He's the crime boss out there in the Outer Rim. And I'd love to see sort of a Godfather, Sopranos sort of Book of Boba Fett season 2, but we're not going to. Instead, they're going to continue Boba Fett's story in Mandalorian season 4. Since Mandalorian season 3 sort of ended on a certain note, and this would make sense to make this the next one. But it would have been great if they would have made the books of Boba Fett more like a Godfather sort of storyline. But whatever. And Scarlett Johansson, this is mentioned, years ago, that after she stopped in 2020, after she stopped playing Black Widow for the last time, everyone was saying, well, you're not. She mentioned, I'm not done with Marvel, just done with Black Widow. I have a top secret project that's going to take place in the MCU that I'm going to be producing. And that's all she said. And then things happened and we haven't heard a peep about it. But Scarlett Johansson was asked about that this week. And she said, yep, it's still on. Kevin Feige and I have been working on it, but things have occurred that have slowed things down, WGA strike, stuff like that. It's still in the works and it's going to be coming sooner than later. It'll be announced sooner than later. And it got me thinking, and I was like, what would be great is it's a movie that she's not involved with. And the absolute best idea that I think she could do, that I would love to see her do, would be for her to produce the Young Avengers. They said it's one of these things that has not been announced yet. And Young Avengers, we have all the Young Avengers now, basically, for the most part. There's a couple, one or two that we still need to get. But they can finagle that somehow. But I think Young Avengers could be absolutely a brilliant idea. Or if it's Squirrel Girl, that'd be even better too. But I think it's going to be somewhere along those lines. I don't know. Don't quote me. I don't know why I believe this, but I think Young Avengers is just the most obvious sort of choice to do this. So we'll see. That's to be continued. So we'll find out more about that later. The Deadpool, despite what was mentioned before, this is apparently was a not true rumor a few months back, but Domino actress from Deadpool 2, Zazie Betts, will not be in Deadpool 3 like everyone thought she was going to be. So she announced that physically today or this week. I will not be in Deadpool 3. Evan Peters has been cast in Tron 3, which is starting to get some motion back here, coming in here. And Steamboat Silly is a new short cartoon that has Mickey Mouse taking on a whole boat of Steamboat Willie characters, which is the first Mickey Mouse cartoon and is going to be coincided with the 100th anniversary of Disney, which is this year. But the first trailer for that came out this week. Hocus Pocus, I talked about last week, is getting a third movie. And now you can also get the Sanderson Sisters Cottage Lego set. Is due out, I believe, July 4th. It wouldn't be out July 4th because that's Tuesday and stores are closed. It'll be July 5th probably. But that's besides the point. But, it is coming. So there we go. Grimace's birthday meal. I guess Grimace had his anniversary this year. Comes with a Grimace birthday shake, which is purple. Because apparently they said that Grimace was supposed to be the embodiment of a milkshake. So, I don't know. A Lucky Charms limited edition Hidden Dragon cereal. Don't know much about it, but there's a Hidden Dragon cereal made by Lucky Charms, so that's pretty good. Disney Plus is going to release an anthology of short films on July 5th based on African Myths and Legends called Kizazi Moto. First trailer for that came out this week. Sarah Polley is set to direct a live-action Bambi movie, which I don't think we need. And it's not the one that everybody's talking about where Bambi gets its revenge against the hunters. No, this is the actual, they're going to do a live-action Bambi movie. I'm probably thinking they'll probably do it similar to Jon Favreau's Jungle Book or The Lion King, where it's live animals, but they're all computer generated. So we'll see what happens with that. Paul McCartney is getting into the AI stuff. He said that with the help of AI and tapes and stuff like that, and I don't know if Ringo's involved with this because Ringo's still around. He will be releasing the last Beatles song ever by the end of the year with AI assistance and tapes and stuff like that. So we'll see how that actually works out. It's not really the Beatles, but we'll see. Emma Corrin stars in a Murder at the End of the World series, which is based on a popular novel. Popular 90s video game NBA Jam apparently was rigged. Don't know what that means, but I hate when video games are rigged. It's interesting. I just wanted to put this out there because this is new for the summer and it's just a funny name. The Sonic, which is the Sonic the restaurant, Sonic Strawberry Shortcake Snowball Slush, lots of S's there, is out for this summer. Sonic Strawberry Shortcakes Snowball Slush. Yep. And a new adult version of Clue called Clue Conspiracy will be coming out later this year as well. It has 3 new characters, and it is completely different than the Clue game. Apparently, what the story is for the game, what the game basically is it's an updated version of Clue, but it's not the murder mystery Clue. Basically, you're divided into 2 teams. You have the conspiracy team and the heroes team. The conspiracy team wants to kill, like, the Mr. Body character. Don't know what it's not Mr. Body, but it's like the main character. They want to kill him. The heroes want to stop them from killing Mr. Body, but they do not know who are on their team. So it's one of those things we're going to try to figure it out. So there's 3 new characters, and some of the pictures show updated versions of like Professor Plum and Mrs. White, stuff like that, as more like social media sort of influencer types, And it's apparently the first of many new Clue games because Clue is trying to rebrand themselves, apparently, and they're going to release a bunch of new style Clue games over the next few years. So that's just the new one coming up right now. Some anniversaries. We have Can't Hardly Wait, which is the great Jennifer Love Hewitt teen senior year party, graduation party movie. Is 25 years old. Jesus Christ, 25 years old. Good God, 25-year-old Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh, yummy. I mean, okay. It's not going to be 25-year-old. It's going to be like 18, 19-year-old. Anyway, regardless. Tales from the Crypt, the HBO miniseries, which was outstanding, by the way, because I had HBO for the longest time, and I watched most of those episodes, and they were outstanding. Debuted 34 years ago this week as well. Went a long time, too. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman and Christian Slater. And the best part of the movie, Alan Rickman, debuted this week 32 years ago. I think I saw that in the movie theaters, but it was okay. I'm not a fan of Rob Liefeld anymore, but I remember back in 1988, this week, the first Hawk and Dove miniseries, which was the first artwork by Rob Liefeld, came out in comic shops, and I absolutely loved the artwork. I thought it was great. Carl Kesel was the inker, and it was an outstanding. Carl Kesel really did a good job with Rob Liefeld's scratches. And at the time, I really enjoyed Rob Liefeld's work, but he became a pompous asshole, and then his artwork has just not gotten any better. And he's still a pompous asshole. But I just want to mention that, I remember because I had the Hawk and Dove comics, and I love the Hawk and Dove comics, and they look gorgeous. at that time in 1988 when I was 15 years old. I thought it looked gorgeous, and yeah, so it was released this week. Some sad, still not really sad, but in 2012, on this week, it was June 14th, 2012, we announced a new arrival to our family, our cat Jinx, which, as I said earlier, might be the ghost cat that might be wandering around here. And she lived with us for about 10 years. Passed away last year, 2022. Still miss the girl. Still haven't cleaned up after her, so her litter boxes and her food dishes are still there. And I just haven't been able to do it just because, partially lazy also, but she was a hell of a mouser, and I could use her now because of all these goddamn mice we have in the house. And just miss her in general. And she was old anyway when we got her too. She's like 3 years old, so she's technically like 13 years old when she passed away. So, yeah, this week was kind of a bittersweet thing because we got Jinx 11 years ago this week. One more full page, and then we are done this episode, Father's Day episode. Venom 3 is due out October 2024. So, again, another 2024 movie coming out here. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has crossed the 800 million threshold, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And fuck you, Marvel haters. So there you go. Laguna's Royal Hawaiian Tiki Bar, I talked about that a little bit last week, has officially reopened. It's one of the oldest tiki bars in California state history, and it was closed for the longest time. It is now back, and we're back. Joe Pickett is a show about like a backwoods sort of detective. His new season of his show had a trailer come out this week. The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, due out August 4th from Prime Video, starring Sigourney Weaver, had the first trailer out. It's a weird sort of true crime novel sort of thing. The Rising trailer, CW show about a teenage girl who was murdered, but her ghost tries to solve her murder crime. That's the first trailer for that came out this week as well. Talked about this earlier. Ghostbusters Wall Clock lights up and plays music every hour, so that's pretty cool. Twisted Metal preview was released this week with Anthony Mackie getting the crap beaten out of him by the clown creature thing. But I also didn't know this either. They have some more behind-the-scenes pics of Twisted Metal, which is coming out a little bit later this month, later this summer, I think. Nev Campbell and Stephanie Beatrice are also in this. And I guess I knew that, but I didn't. But yeah, they had pictures of them, behind-the-scenes pictures, stuff like that. So that's crazy. Sophie Thatcher, has been cast in Companion from the Barbarian team. That's the movie I've been talking about a lot also. It's the sci-fi version of the Barbarian. Was a very new and unique horror film, and the creators now going to do their magic for a sci-fi film. And Sophie, who is in Yellow Jackets and some other stuff as well, is now the lead in that as well. Dick Clark Productions is now the new home for the Golden Globes. Apparently, the Hollywood Foreign Press has folded after all the shit that was going on with them. So Dick Clark Productions swooped in, and the Golden Globes are now being produced by and run by Dick Clark Productions. Pat Sajak, the host of Wheel of Fortune, announced this week that he'll be retiring after 42 years on the show, hosting the show, after this current season runs out. So he's a local guy, but he's also put his foot in his mouth many times when it comes to politics, stuff like that. Now, I've been talking about how 2023 is going to be a huge video game year, but it still takes time to create video games, stuff like that. So we're getting a potential for 2026 might got their first real big boost for video games. 2026, we're supposed to be getting a possible Final Fantasy X remake, which will in development, which No, I guess that's the most recent one that came out years ago and hasn't been updated in a while. So they're going to update it and reboot it, remake it, whatever, and then they can start from scratch with that and do new Final Fantasy stuff. But Final Fantasy has always been a big video game thing for people, and 2026 we'll see some new Final Fantasy stuff there. Maryland apparently has an indoor Nerf gun arena, and it is finally open, so that might be something neat for my son to check out because I know he likes that. Pringles has a new set of 4 flavors called Harvest Blend flavors. I didn't get to see what the flavors really were, but they're there. Leica Studios, which is a studio that does a lot of stop motion animation movies, is currently making a stop motion animation movie that is going to have an action sequence. And it is a challenge for the stop motion animators to do this. And they've been working on it now for a long time. It's going to take a while to do it, but it could be like the first ever really major action sequence in a stop motion film, like action film sort of action thing as well. Ubisoft releases the first trailer for an open world Star Wars game called Outlaws, which is going to be set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The trailer looks good. The gameplay looks interesting. And it's an open world game like a World of Warcraft or a Fortnite sort of thing. So it's kind of cool to see that and see how that's going to go. An archaeologist recreated a 12,000-year-old bird bone flute, and it sounds perfect. Last week was the Canadian Open. This week is the U.S. Open. And the winner of the Canadian Open, was celebrating, and one of his opponents on the PGA that just had played him wanted to go and congratulate him, was excited for him to win, but security did not know that this guy was on the tour, so they decked him, thinking he was a fan trying to reach the winner, not that it was a buddy of his. So that's kind of stupid that you didn't know that, but okay, maybe in the heat of the moment, stuff like that, it can be an issue, but all right. Last week, Transformers hit $60 million for their opening weekend. Elemental, Pixar's movie that hasn't been out for a while, as I said, has had a couple of flops recently because they've underperformed. So their last 2 Disney movies have underperformed at the box office. Well, this one looks like it's doing all right. $30 million is what it's estimated that it's going to gross this weekend. Not spectacular, not like what it used to do, but hey, after a bunch of direct to Disney Plus movies and a couple of, failures, whatever, a $30 million opening weekend for a Pixar movie is actually not too bad. So you can suck it, Disney haters. And speaking of me, I'm a Snyderverse hater. The Flash is underperforming, which I'm absolutely stoked about. It made $9 million on Thursday night previews, which is okay. And it made $24 million on Friday, but they're not projecting much more after that. They're projecting 24 maybe this week, or maybe Saturday, today, and then maybe a little less tomorrow, or rather today, Sunday. They're predicting about a $60 to $68 million opening weekend, which is what Shazam did. And then Shazam just went poof. Now, Flash doesn't really have a lot of competition this upcoming week, though we do have the sexy Jennifer Lawrence film, which I think might actually surprise a lot of people, because when you have sexy, dirty mouth Jennifer Lawrence, who looks pretty hot in the movie, you've seen the trailer, and it's your typical sort of return to sort of raunchy comedy, you might be surprised that and also I think all the Snyder bros are going to want to see The Flash. They went and saw it this weekend, so it looks like it has big numbers, and no one else really wants to see it because Ezra Miller is a pedophile, sexual predator, cult leader who should be in jail. And Zack Snyder is a toxic asshole with a toxic fan base, who also should not be allowed to do anything else before. So I'm hoping that Flash takes a huge hit like Shazam did, and Elemental hopefully might stay steady. That Elemental looks like one. If it made $30 million, it could still hold steady for a while. So if it holds steady for a while, and then Spider-Verse is still doing good mucho box office as well. And then you've got the Asteroid City movie, I think, coming out on the 23rd. Also, that might be the 30th though. But we'll see. I just hope that the Flash right now it's predicted that it's going to underperform, and it looks like it's going to underperform with opening weekend. They were expecting to be over $100 million, and then when they saw the returns and the pre-ticket things, it's not that great. So we'll see. And I'm not gonna do Schadenfreude, but there we go. In dreams, I had a dream last night, this is the usual show where I talk about dreams I had that I can't remember. This one was weird. My wife and I owned a nice house. It was nice, and we were selling it, and we got it all cleaned up and moved around. And the people who were selling it for us, the realtors selling it for us, we were able to stay in the house while they were showing it around. And eventually, we had two people who wanted to buy the house, and then we decided that we didn't want to move. And so one of the guys that really wanted it, he was mad. So I gave him a listing because we said we were looking briefly. This house might be open, might be more your speed. And we gave it to him, and he went out and he got it. So that was my kind of in dream sort of thing to have. I'm going to go on a Father's Day rant real quick. I'm not a technical guy. I don't do repairs. I don't like woodworking. I don't like, working on cars. I don't like building things. I don't like repairing. I don't know how to do all this stuff. My dad was a math teacher. He never really showed me how to do all this stuff. Father's Day is today. And all I hear on the radio is get dad power tools, or go to Lowe's or Home Depot for Dad's Day so you can give him stuff that he wants to do, like, give him tools and give him all kinds of stuff so he can go out and do projects and stuff like that, because that's what he loves to do. It's like, no, not all dads love to do projects. I don't like to do projects. I love my family, but I'm not expecting a lot this Father's Day. I have a list of stuff on Amazon that I would love to get: books, movies, T-shirts. Really, there's some Funko Pops. I don't like Funko Pops as much as I used to. That's the stuff I really, really want. I'm not expecting that I'm going to get any of that. I love my family, as I said, but when it comes to Father's Day gifts and regular gifts, they're kind of about it. I mean, for Valentine's Day, my wife got me Pops. I haven't collected Pops in a long time. She could have bought me a couple. I got her stuff that she likes. I got her, manga, and I got her manga for her birthday, and stuff that she likes, that I know she likes. And yet I don't get my movies or books or T-shirts that I like. But that's not what this is all about. So we'll see what happens. But the fact that they keep pushing power tools and go to Home Depot and Lowe's and projects and stuff like that. We have all the stuff for your fathers out there, and, fixing the cars and blue jeans and all kinds of bullshit. I'm not any of that. And I don't know what type of commercial I would like to hear for Father's Day, but that's not what all fathers want. They don't want all power tools, and they don't want all tools and shit like that. They just want regular stuff, As I said, some might like that stuff, but I don't. And the fact is, they're pushing it like all dads want this stuff. It's similar to, all women want jewelry, for Valentine's Day and stuff like that, which is also bullshit, because my wife can't wear jewelry at her work, and she doesn't really wear that much jewelry anyway. So, just me going on a little rant here. I had another rant I was going to go on to, but I cannot read it. Rant about all the hate. Yeah. The reason why I feel like I'm feeling my age and why I feel like my stomach is kind of messed up is not just physical stuff, but because of all the raw stupidity and the hate and all the stuff that has been permeating this world since 2016, and throwing that the stress of right now, I swear to God, I keep hearing stuff in the walls, and I think it's mice, and I'm fucking worried that they're going to get through the house again. I don't want them in the house anymore. And I don't know what to do because we got all this shit. We need to clean the house, yes, but I don't know how to do that. Yep. See, he's fucking right up there. I could hear him. Fuck you. I hate this shit. So stuff like that is stressing me out, and I think that's causing me some of this discomfort that I'm having, and which is also making me feel my age as well. That's what the rant is. I didn't really have much to do because it's late. I'm getting tired. I hate this shit. So deaths, we have Kyle Brown, ESPN director, suddenly died during the college baseball super regionals. So no one really knows why he passed away like that. Anniversaries we have this week. The big one this week was Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary was this week. And Spielberg tends to like this week because we have Jurassic Park's 30-year anniversary this week. We have E.T.'s 41st anniversary this week as well. We have Raiders of the Lost Ark's 42nd, 42 years old this week. And that's all the Spielberg ones, right? Yeah. Then we also have Ferris Bueller's Day Off came out 37 years ago this week. We have Predator came out 36 years ago this week. I can't, what is this 1944 thing? I can't read this anymore. Something came out in 1944 and I can't read it. So whatever. And that's it, really. I didn't have any major big-time story to go after that. As I said, next week will probably be on a Sunday since I have my 50th birthday party on Saturday. And when I get back, I'm probably not going to be in the mood to do research and other stuff because I'll be full and I don't want to do stuff like that. And I'll probably be tired. So I'll do it on Sunday when my wife is taking my daughter up to her first job. So this week, as I said, is a big one. It's Father's Day right now. It's 1:30 a.m. right now, so it's Father's Day officially. Has been for an hour and a half. Monday is Juneteenth, so federal offices are closed. And it was for those who don't know, Juneteenth is when slavery was abolished in the United States. And June 20th is my birthday. My 50th birthday will be on Tuesday, June 20th. The first day of summer is on the 21st, Wednesday, as is the first episode of Secret Invasion, the new Marvel series on Disney+. Can't think of anything that happens on the 22nd right now. The 23rd, as I said, is Pokemon Journeys, is going to make their return to Tudum, Netflix. And then my party is on Saturday with my family and friends. Should be great. And then Sunday, my daughter starts her work career. So that's it. And then I got another full week of that. And then my family goes away and I have a free week where it's 4th of July then. And we'll do all kinds of fun stuff there. So that's it. I think I'm done. I'm hoping that sound of, I believe this mice is a little heavier, that he was heading that way. Hopefully that means he's going outside and not into my house because the kitchen is right about here. So hopefully he went all the way out there and is not going to be hiding out upstairs when I walk up there. Not going to be popping out. That'd be pissing me off if he does. I'm probably not going to stay up that late. Anyway, but that's it for today. Have a good Father's Day. I'm going to have a good week, I think, this week. Hopefully I'll have a good week this week. It is my birthday week, and I'm excited for it. And I don't think Ultimate Coke is going to come in anything else. I know the creations only tend to be 0 sugar ones. But if you want to, this does taste like bubble gum, and it's weird. But it's not bad. It's actually not bad. If there was a regular flavored one that wasn't 0 sugar, I probably would drink it a little bit more. Maybe get a 12-pack. I don't know if I keep drinking it over and over again, but a 12-pack might be good. Yeah. So I think that's it. I can throw this away. I can throw that away. Recycle that, I should say. And look forward to my birthday weekends or my birthday week. So 50 comes soon, and I'm feeling my age. So that's it. I'm going to say good night. Hopefully I won't have to battle any stupid mice. And I have one last thing to say. Tudum.